You can't touch this. You can't touch this.
Inception deals with Dom Cobb, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, and his business partner Arthur, played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt. They perform illegal corporate espionage by entering the subconscious minds of their targets, using two-level dream-within-a-dream strategies to extract valuable information. Each of the extractors carries a totem, which is a personalised small object, whose behaviour is unpredictable to anyone except to the totem's owner, and this helps them to determine if they are within another person's dream. So Cobb's rare ability to perform this has made him a coveted player in this treacherous new world of corporate espionage, but it has also made him an international fugitive and cost him everything he has ever loved. Now Cobb is being offered a chance at redemption. One last job could give him back his life, but only if he can accomplish the impossible. Inception. So instead of the perfect heist, Cobb and his team of specialists have to pull off the reverse. Their task is not to steal an idea, but to plant one. If they succeed, it could be the perfect crime. But no amount of careful planning or expertise can prepare the team for the dangerous enemy that seeks to predict their every move. And this is an enemy that only Cobb could have seen coming. So written and directed by Christopher Nolan, who has previously given us such films as Insomnia, Memento and The Dark Knight, Inception stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Ellen Page, Tom Hardy, Ken Watanabe, Cillian Murphy, Tom Berenger, Marion Cotillard, Pete Postlethwaite, Michael Caine and Lucas Haas. So it's basically an all-star cast. I think this film is superbly made across the board. So plot, cinematography, CGI, sound design, soundtrack, I just can't fault it. And the film has a coveted spot in my top 10.
Is that so?
That is so, like, bam!
You've done very well with the synopsis there. Can I ask you how many times you've seen it?
Oh my god, I've seen it like now about 4 times. But the part of me is because the first time I watched it, I was alone in a cinema and I went and saw it on my own, and I walked down the street afterwards in an absolute daze, just thinking, real life sucks. I just wanted to go back in and watch it again. Like it was so, and the soundtrack, that kind of whole thing with, you know, the Edith Piaf utilising that music, and then, you know, Hans Zimmer manipulating it for the soundtrack, and, you know, it just, I don't want to ever watch the special effects on the DVD because I don't want to know how they did it. Like some of the scenes, like some of that, you know, I mean, even researching, researching for this review, I was kind of going.
Well, I was going to say, did you, even though you've seen it 4 times, did you still find it hard to, you know, synopsize it?
It is hard. How do you describe it?
It is hard.
Like you just, like writing a synopsis for it is impossible.
Yeah.
Like people say, what's it about?
Yeah, it's pretty hard, I think, to.
But like so clever. Like I was watching it and I was sitting there in the cinema going, I was in awe because I was like, this plot line is so clever and so unique. And so when something like that comes along, you know, it's like when Jurassic Park, I think, first hit the screens. Like it was, you know, it was really unique. Yeah. And then all those kind of films, those big animals eating human films came along after that.
Yeah, true. Well, for me it was Being John Malkovich.
Oh,
which I thought that was off the wall original, just fantastic.
Absolutely, and and that's what this was for me. And so every time I watch it, I'm just transported, and I'm so moved by the performances and like moved by what happened with, you know, with his partner Marion, Mal,
that's right.
and so Mol, so
yeah.
moved by what happened with his partner Mol in the film, and you know, and Ellen Page is brilliant, and other people were slated to play that role, or you know, were hooked in to possibly play that role. So glad they didn't. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I'm rambling on because I just do love the film. But go, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely a great film. I've been to see it 4 times. You know, and each time I've tried to think to myself, right, I'm going to sit here objectively and, you know, appreciate the individual elements and try and figure out, you know, various bits and pieces of it, and just get sucked in every single time. Yeah, again, I'm just going to mention Hans Zimmer's score because it's just exceptional. I mean, he's really for my money, he is the top Hollywood composer at the moment. I think he's just.
Thank you. I just had that debate with
extraordinary.
someone. Yeah.
I know. I think he's amazing. The Thin Red Line is, still my top score.
Yeah.
And True Romance. I mean, like he's such an eclectic mix of stuff. Just amazing.
But Ellen Page, I'm just not such a big fan of. I have to say. I mean, from what I understand, it was Evan Rachel Wood who was meant to be cast in that role originally, and I think I probably would have preferred it if she had been.
There were 3 others as well. There was possibly Emily Blunt, Rachel McAdams, and Emma Roberts. So 3 like really different.
Yeah, vastly.
Yeah.
Very different.
For me, she's just a little bit too young for the role, and I just don't buy her as being a, architectural genius. Yeah.
Okay.
But, all the other elements are they're fantastic. The fight scenes particularly are breathtaking even after the 4th time. And, there's a sequence where there's a van, falling off a bridge, and they're all in the van together, and I was just thinking to myself, holy shit, there's just so much talent in that one car. It's just, it's amazing. But yeah, the more I think about it though, the one thing that maybe bothers me a little bit is, one thing is the heart of this film. Like, I think that it doesn't really have that much heart in a way. Like, it has a certain kind of contrived...
Ideal.
To me it has a kind of contrived Hollywood heart to it, and it does it better than the over-sentimentality of normal Hollywood films.
Okay.
But it's just not heart, and yeah, the ending, I sometimes wonder to myself, was that just a money-making exercise? But over to you.
Well, I have that similar problem. I mean, Nolan doesn't really bring emotion too much into it. I don't think in any of his films. It's very cold. It's very game-like. I mean, it's very game-like in the film. In fact, the touchstones that people have been referring to in terms of referencing this film have been The Matrix.
Really?
Yeah, people have been saying it was a bit Matrixy, in terms of the philosophies and maybe even the special effects a little bit.
Also a Japanese film called Paprika as well.
Oh yeah, okay. But I actually found it. What it reminded me of most was Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, okay.
That deals with the internal
absolutely.
workings of the mind
Yeah.
and how that works. But yeah, I mean, it was very cold. The one problem I have with the story, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but what I got is that basically the whole plot is set up by Ken Watanabe's character being this billionaire energy tycoon. And basically he just wants a bigger slice of the market from Cillian Murphy's dad or Cillian Murphy's character. And he's saying the world needs this, but I'm thinking, this guy, is just basically asking for a bigger slice of the energy pie. And I'm thinking, why would I give a crap about that? And also, I understand that you have Leonardo wanting to get back to his children. I understand that. I wasn't moved at all by the Marion Cotillard part of the film.
Really?
Yeah. So I mean, the story bothers me. All the other elements. Pretty much, as you say, top shelf. And I do want to stress that when this came out, it was blockbuster season, the American summer season. Yeah. And to have a film like this come out as opposed to something like Transformers 2, the robots with testicles, it's just like, I'd much prefer to see something like that, offered up in that type of season than other crap.
Yeah, I wish this was only the kind of... this is the stuff that Hollywood should be making. If they're going to make big budget films, do it with something that's intelligent, not just bullshit.
I agree. Yeah.
Isn't that it's just so interesting hearing you just then describe the plot, talk about what you thought the plot of this film was. For me, it was, and it's obviously different between men and women, because for me, this was a love story.
Yeah.
Like,
you can certainly glean that.
Yeah. And so, all of that kind of corporate espionage stuff, yes, it's obviously heavily in the film, but it's, this kind of, it's a catalyst for DiCaprio, or for Dom's character,
Dom Cobb,
for Cobb's character to have this kind of rounding out of, you know, of the conflicts present in his life.
Yeah.
So that it was more about the human beings in the story for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't even, like, when you were describing that then, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Even like, I mean, obviously, you know what, they're going to get these little chunks of Cillian Murphy's, you know, Cillian?
Cillian.
Sorry, my apologies. Yeah, it's so fascinating. So I love reviewing with, you know, having the male and female perspective on films and what we take from it.
Yeah, we talked about Leo in the last episode in the kids to adults episode. He never really bettered his Gilbert Grape performance, and he still hasn't here.
No, he hasn't here. I mean, like, the performances are really solid, but there's no outstanding performance.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so I loved Gordon. Oh my god, I keep doing it.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
There's 3 names to remember. And, you know, there's 2 of them that could potentially be first names. I thought he was really, like, you know, it's nice to see, you know, him doing that.
Just you mentioned previous to this review that there's 5.
4. So it's quite fitting that this is the 3rd installment or whatever, you know, final installment in our from child stars to adult stars. Yeah. And in this film, there are 4 actors who were all child stars to adult stars. So you've got Leonardo, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Ellen Page, and also Lucas Haas, who was, you know, very young, and I love From the Witness purely because it had Harrison Ford in it.
Actually, yeah, just quickly, that was there was a mini reunion there with Lucas Haas and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who were both in Brick, which is a really good film, which hopefully we'll review one day.
See, the film, there's so many levels to the film.
There is levels. There's the James Bond level.
What's a James Bond?
Well, you know the snow.
Oh yes,
a lot of people say to me, that was very James Bond, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe it was.
Very True Lies.
It's like a game even, you know, next level.
But it was so fascinating to see how they built the levels, and as you watch the film, you mean even it's writing that script and going down and creating all those things. And you know what, I love the concept of the kick. I loved the concept of the kick. When they came up with that in the cinema, I was like, that is so cool. It's just cool.
The script, I think, is in terms of structure is solid. He's spinning a lot of plates at the same time.
What you know, that in itself, I just go, because like that is a dense script and a dense story for continuity, and like, you know, it's amazing.
And to make it so accessible as well as amazing.
It's a good achievement. Yeah.
All right.
Be that as it may.
10 out of 10 for me.
10 out of 10.
That's my first 10 out of 10 ever. And you earned it, Inception. Well done.
7 out of 10 from me.
Agreed, 7.
Oh, I'm out of here.
I gotta go. Alright, taxi! Thank you. Alright, 3rd market. Snappy. What are you doing?
I'm sorry, I thought it was free.
Well, it's not.
Maybe we could share.
Maybe not. Can you pull over, get this... Great. Come on.
There's $500 in there. The wallet's worth more than that, so you might at least drop me at my stop.
I'm afraid it doesn't.